Hey guys, we're going to talk about my craptacular day because I need to talk about my craptacular day. Oh my god. Today's Thursday. Today's supposed to be easy. So, I go in and my boss is like, hey, where are you with this project I was supposed to work on? And I'm like, I don't have anything to work on with it. As far as I'm concerned, that whole program's dead to me. Apparently, that wasn't the appropriate response. Oh my god. Oh. So he says, I want you to find the top 3 things that are wrong with this program, and I need you to bring them to this, blah, 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 blah. Fine. Son of a bitch. I've done this twice now. It's awful. It's stupid. It makes no sense. I'm in a bad mood, and it just got worse and worse. Oh my god. Seriously. So then I get this note from one of my plants saying, hey, we're having a problem with these lenses. We've sent them back to you. We don't understand why you keep sending them back, because we sorted them. They didn't want to look at them. They didn't want anything. Okay, so I get my other boss involved. And he gets the information he can remember, runs off, and promptly forgets the important part. So, yeah, that was fun. And then we had to explain it to him again, and he sat there going, oh. So, sorry. Gave me more work to do, by the way. And then I have to get this stuff ready for this presentation. And I'm like, So I pull up this document, and it basically just, blah, this is what you need to do. And I'm like, holy shit, it took 10 minutes. I've been putting this off for 2 weeks. Really not impressed with myself at the moment. Walk over, I pulled one out, looked at that right there, set it down, pulled out another one, a couple more, pulled it up, oh, right there, that'll work. And then I went over to the other line, and I go through their stuff, and I'm like, that's exactly what I want to prove. So I got my 3, and I go sit down at my desk, and I have to go to a meeting, and I'm in the middle of my meeting, and my phone rings, and I'm like, who is this number? So I send it to voicemail. Well, then my coworker, my mentee, her phone goes off, and she leaves the room, and she comes back, and she says, that's Josh that's trying to get a hold of you, my boss. You need to call him. I looked at it, he had called me 3 times. I'm like, I'm sorry, your phone is not programmed into your phone number is not programmed into this phone. And he's just laughing. He says, I get it. He says, this is the only number I have for you. I said, no, I'm programming you in right now. I said, what's going on? Can you go over to Plant 2 and work with the ladies over there? Because they need your help with putting together their part of the presentation. And I'm like, mother. I don't like the quality engineer over in Plant 2. Me and her have like butt heads. Enough. She's not a nice person. So this will just be a backstory, and I'll get back to normal-ish. I come from a family where women do the exact same thing guys do. There's not a big difference. Not much, anyway. My sisters would drive tractor, and I would bale hay, and I'd be up in the mow, or I'd be out on the wagon. I'd have to lift a little more, and there were things that, just because they were smaller than I was. But otherwise, everybody does everything the same. There's not really, you don't say, well, that's women's work. There's no such thing. I come from a long line of feminists. We were all taught at a young age by my grandmother, you do not need a man in your life. I need to learn that one. You do not need a man in your life. You need to be able to do everything on your own. So here I am. There's this young lady who uses the damsel in distress card, which for me is a cop-out. It's kind of like, oh, I don't want to do the work. Oh, help me. It's like, oh my God, do your job. And then if that doesn't work, then she tries to bully you. And guess how far that gets you with me? Not very. So anyway, I have to deal with her. And the new quality manager, I like the new quality manager. She's nice. She's from Spain. And so I go over there and I'm like, in a mood to begin with. And I have these 3 parts. And I sat them down and I started explaining them. And she's like, oh, wow, this is the part we have. It has a similar condition. And we walked through it and we're like, well, she says, well, how would you describe this? And I had the Toyota Standard. And I'm flipping through it and I'm pointing out stuff and explaining it. And she's like, that's a good part. And I said, yep, we've been sending that as something else. Yep, there's nothing wrong with that part. They all went, oh, so maybe we don't need to use this one. I said, I would still put it in front of them. I said, so that you feel comfortable that they said that was a good part. She goes, but we won't get anywhere with it. It's a good part. I said, it will get you somewhere. I said, you want things that they're going to look at and say, of course that meets the standard. You want things that they're going to go, that's right on the cusp. And we need to move this stuff. But the conversation needs to go from here to the floor so that they know that this stuff is good, but what's good and what's bad. And we had this really good talk. And I sat there the whole time going, why the hell was I so bent out of shape about this? This was actually constructive. I'm used to the previous management, which was always like combative. And he had to be right. He would prove himself right repeatedly. He was actually the reason I got the job in the first place. He just ushered me into my role and sat me down and said, there you go. Otherwise, well, they would have taken me, but having him be my supporter was good. And then he became my worst nightmare. So get done with this. We do their little thing. I go out to the floor, drop off a part, come back up. And as we were talking, and she says, oh, this other lady's back. Let's go talk to her about it. We went and walked through the whole process again. And everybody just sat there like, wait a minute, that's a good part. Yes, that's a good part. According to this, that's a good part. I'm like, you guys have been rejecting this. Well, we should just be cleaning this up, and we should be doing this, and we should be doing that. And I'm like, you're not, but you're not. Nobody's doing that. You're looking at the part saying, I don't like it. You're not looking at the standards. So then everybody's like, oh, okay, what's that mean? We need to work on the standards. I'm like, you've been told to work on the standards for quite a while now. You being the plant, not these 2 people. And I'm just sitting there like, I'm so like burnt out from this crap. Get done with that. My boss is, and I go back, this is during my lunch. I scarfed down food and then ran over for this meeting. Get done with this crap. Sorry. This is how I am when I'm talking about work. And I'm excited because I'm excited. I love my job. It pays well. That's all I'm going to say. Get done with that. Get back. My boss is sending me chat after chat. Chat after chat. Like, oh my God, I need you to pick up this part. Oh my God, we need to work on this. Oh my God, I need you to help with this. Oh my God, you need to run this part over to this person and have them check it. And it was just nonstop. And I'm like, holy shit. This is where he forgot parts of the story. So I'm jumping through hoops on all this stuff. We finally get all of it bottled up. And it's time for me to go up front. I don't have anything done. I'm like, yay, I'm going to get yelled at. I don't care. I don't really give a shit. Walk in. I have parts in I had taken up the parts earlier. So I'm standing there and I'm ready, and I've got my computer in case they wanted to look at stuff, which was on the screen and they could have looked at it if they wanted to. So they said, well, let's start with this part. And I'm like, cool. And the ladies introduced the things they want to say are good. And I showed the concept of the one I had that was similar. And everybody looked at it and they're like, oh, this is really good. This is not visible. We're like, nope. When you light it up, invisible. This is a good cost save. I said, yeah, this is a really good cost save. Well, what do we need to do to implement it? Easy. Customer says, yeah, I agree with you. That's all that has to happen. The line gets introduced to the concept of doing its goddamn job and not telling me I don't like it all the time. That's what I need. So then we go into the next step and I start showing things, and I want to change what we're calling this. the determination of this nonconformity. I said, it is technically splay, but I wanted to have them say splay should not be, you measure out splay. Splay should start off life as, can you see it in car position? And I say that it should go under class 2 and class 3 instead of, measuring each little line and saying, well, it's too big this way, even though when you're having it in car position, you can't see it. And my plant manager just sat there looking at me like, yes, that's what I'm talking about. So I'm like, ugh. And I'm sitting there like, this took me 5 minutes. And my site quality manager is just grinning like, oh. She says, how much is, I said, I have 3 top scrap items. These are them. This is them. And they're all like, this? Why is this a defect? And of course, plant 2 is starting to backpedal. And I said, no. I understand what's going on. We have people that want to say what they say is correct. And they are, basically railroading these 2 ladies. And the plant manager was like all excited. And he's like, this is exactly what we need to be working on. And I was sitting there like, so, And then I walk into my office and my boss has a part on my desk. And I picked it up and I said, what is this about? And he says, look at the marks on it. I'm looking at it like, it's a new program. And I'm like, there's marks all over it. I go, I heard about this. He said, we can't, this is what they're telling us to pack. This is what they're telling us is the best the tool can do. I said, well, that's hogwash because I've seen it and it has done better. And I said, yeah, but this is what they're trying to push through for the run rate. And I said, the fuck they are. So I get to send out a nasty email tomorrow explaining how stupid these people are to my management. I'm going to blind copy my former quality manager so that she's in on it, because she's going to have to go back to the other quality group that she now owns too and explain to them that this is hogwash and they need to do their jobs for a change. This is what I do. This is what you would have to listen to if you were dating me. Aren't you glad you're not dating me? Imagine this. This would be awful. I love you guys. I love you, dude.